Well, next is tell you head. Depends. Have you signed? Signing in process. Don't go so back. Sign it. मोटे जो है साइड कर पहले नहीं आया अब आया बट अभी भी नहीं निकाल एक okay अब SL Federalism is completed how much we have then let's features we have studied then afterwards, coming together and that also be done. Then what type of policy that okay. We will find special okay. Separate jurisdiction over role of judiciary, all those things. Then this one how federalism is practiced linguistic state and language state. Not it. Okay. This is something that we have learned. Yes, definitely. We learned about how powers are distributed. Union list, state list, state list. Then special state. So, along with that, we have also discussed about the power of judiciary. Already, among the key features we studied, the judiciary is like an umpire. That is also there. Then some states are having special status. Some states are being created states. So some regions are not big enough to be formed at their state. So they are into this center of those things. No? Yes, we have studied then after that. So you may after that what is the state of the human right we have already aware there is a five state. See that is what we are doing. See, in order to make India a federal country, what two points are in consideration? Already we studied that how these powers are distributed into each units. And it is functioning from that 1950 onwards. The moment the constitution is implemented, that time onwards it is functioning properly because of that proper design and implementation. So that is what in that part. Now, how is it practiced? So, in order to make federalism in practice, certain things are required or certain points are required. We know that in our constitution it is not at all written. We have mobile with somebody. We are having it. Not say whoever is having it, other places it is in the box. It's counter is general administrative boxes. Happy? You keep it. No problem. You just keep it. What's the it will be a yeah. You are not having step again. 100%. You keep it. Not from that, only thing. And so, 1 million God. But higher क्या उसको बोलिएगा किसके लिए ये आएगा तुम्हारा किसी और का आएगा नहीं हम किसी और डिवाइस पे बनाए over there so what's it okay and no this is not a kind of distraction. Okay, so our constitution is not mentioned about the India as a federal country. But some kind of conditions are created to make it a federal country. Now, it is a vast country. We have studied in the previous class, the last days, how many states are there? 29, 27, 28, how many 36 numbers will come on that? See, earlier 29 states were there. Okay, now it is reduced. Jammu and Kashmir is divided into 2 union territories. So, union territories number increased. That's right. 29 से 1 कम हो गया. So, इधर union territories का number बढ़ गया. So, 9 union territories. But it. So, what we were telling here, how this is practiced. So, this much vast country, how it can be configured into one nation. So, there was a policy taken that is formation of linguistic states. You can write down that points. Formation of linguistic states. Armaya, are you able to see?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So, in order to make the nation one, the states are formed on the basis of languages the people speak. You know that Marathi speaking people are grouped into Maharashtra. Gujarati speaking people are formed into Gujarat state. So like that. So on the basis of language, write this point. Have you done? That all over. Next part is how is federation practiced. The first way federalism is practiced by forming the country in the basis of languages. That is what is linguistic states. Got it? See, when India got independence, that time so many princely states were there. Do you know what is princely states? Ruled by the kings. So those princely states, the people were having different languages. So it was not a very easy process to form into a state spoke in which people spoke one language. But still, they tried to create the states on the basis of language. It was not made in one day, or immediately after independence, also not found. That students she don't see them. We have studied that it did not form in the same day or that day. The first attempt to form the linguistic state was in 1956. Many of the states are formed in the year 1956. Linguistic states are formed in the year 1956. Then some states are formed in 1960. Then some states are formed 61 like that. It took some time for the Shivam, if you are sitting behind, I also cannot see you. I'm very tall. So you can sit this side also. So I can see you. Or come this side. Okay, so the states are formed later, 1956. Many of the states have been formed on the basis of language. Amaya, are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Avandesh?
Yes, ma'am.
Because when I am looking this side, I thought whether it is audible. So, 1956, maximum states are formed. We know that Maharashtra Day is celebrated on May 1st. But it is formed on May 1st, 1960. So like that, on the basis of language, the people spoke, the states are made. Clear? That is what the linguistic states. There was lot of confusion among the constitution makers that whether this will work or not. Because people spoke different languages and kings conquered different areas and made it as part of the kingdom. So people were not having a common language at that time. So whether it will work was very much confusing for the constitution makers. But finally, they have taken the decision to make it on the basis of language. So it does work. We know that we are staying in different states, and then we have our government. Whichever states we have our color. Okay, if you understand the formation of linguistic states, now let's move to language policy. Underwriting, one, C, I will sign. Okay, formation of linguistic states that being formed, right? If you want, states that being formed on the basis of are being formed on the basis of languages spoken by the people of that region. Languages spoken by the people of that region. Many states are formed in 1956. Many states are formed. The people of that region, you might know, are formed in 1956. Okay. The first set of states are formed in 1956. So before that, it was not formed into this Maharashtra state, this Gujarat state. Like that, it was not at all formed. It was done by Junakar, our election, earlier things. But the statehood was given on the basis of language, then it was formed on the basis of there was lot of dispute between Gujarat and Maharashtra because they were having that connectivity. Earlier, being the part of the state field. Okay. So, finally, with the lot of fights or rivalries, it was decided as Maharashtra state and then Gujarat. Then another, we know that have you heard about the Belgaum? No? Belgaum is a part in Maharashtra or in between Maharashtra and Karnataka. You are from Karnataka. So before on the way to Karnataka, on the way to Karnataka, there is a region called Belgaum. This region is claimed by both the states, Karnataka and Maharashtra. The people in that region spoke both Maharashtra, Marathi and Konkani. So you call me Kannada language. Okay, so the Maharashtra claimed it as its own part, Karnataka claimed it as its own part. So there is a big dispute going on. It's not ended also, it's going on. So this way, lot of disputes are there after the creation of language also. Because boundaries are not made. People living in that border region have lot of problems. It is not able to solve it by the administration. You know that when here you are living in cities. Cities and the flats are there. But in the village areas, if you live in the native places, there are vast lands, big days. It's not like that, big days. that area, and after that another person's property is there. That's the boundary. But even though there is boundary, they are having close connectivity. Perhaps, like, are you going to the so that how you people are living is great for vacations, 2 days you may be going. But how you like to take it place and come this is in Maharashtra. So it's the Bengal region. Fantastic. Great. Okay. There you may be having that big house. People are living here right now. So how like to go to any place, vacations, okay, enjoy your life and so neighbors are there. The neighbors talking, like it's naturally. Here you're sitting inside the flat, watching the television or playing the game. But that will be your doing. The native place is completely different. So many people are the natural games. So this is what the people who are living in the border areas are facing more problems because they neither have the connectivity with this state or that state. They felt they are independent. They are connected by each other. It's not that the neighborhood is connected. But the governments are having problems to accommodate them to the state of vaccines. That is the course of life. Okay, the first part is clear, linguistic, the states, formation of linguistic state. Now, let's come to the language policy. Is linguistic state and the language policy connected? Yes. What is the connectivity? Language. Yes, do you have anything to tell? Right now. No. You? I'm in India, how she has been released because different type of people say. They were speaking Hindi, but they were using another type of Hindi. Let's afterwards we will have a small discussion on debate on it. Okay. What is your opinion about whether this one is connected or not? How it is connected? Let us see here what is the difference between the linguistic state and the language policy. Language policy is that India, the people are speaking about the 1,700 dialects. Dialects means spoken. That is the way the people speak. The same language is spoken in different areas, right? In different ways. For example, Marathi. The Marathi is spoken in the cities and different. Then in the village areas, that is village, you see that Ghat areas, that is Pahad area, the Khati Marathi area. That is low-lying areas, coastal areas, and other type of market. Okay, so there are different ways in which the people speaking. So that is called the dialects. Okay. Now, main languages which you are taking, there is about 121 main languages. How all these languages could be that is included? There was a difficulty in including all these languages. There are some people speaking that is 0.1% only some languages also. So, in the constitution's 8th schedule, Okay, eighth schedule of the Constitution, 22 languages are included. Okay, how many languages? 22 languages are included in the eighth schedule of the Indian Constitution. So those languages are called scheduled languages. Okay, which are called scheduled languages. Those languages included in the eighth schedule of the Constitution is called a scheduled language. You just note down. The languages included. The languages included in the eighth schedule of the Constitution are called scheduled languages. There are 22 such languages. Have you noticed a currency note? Do you have 10 rupee, 20 rupee in your hand? Just remove and see how many languages it is written. This is written now, you just count it. Come here. You just count it. Then English is the left side. Count it. English will count. Then is India our the English our language? Earlier currency there was 21 languages. All those languages were the earlier currencies. All the scheduled languages. All those languages which are the scheduled languages are included in the currency notes. Say piano, some Marathi, So that is first of one question. Just read it as a piano. Maybe that languages, some places, like UP goes to the that. All those languages which are included in the eighth schedule is called the scheduled languages. Okay. Now, what is the problem? I have told this much dialects. and this many language, 121 languages. Then out of that, 22 languages are included in the but eighth schedule. So the government tried to include Hindi in the place of English as the official language. Official language means the national language. Then the megas were collected and find that only 40% are spoken. 40% of the people are speaking Hindi and related languages. Then, in that case, 60% are not speaking Hindi. Hindi related, okay, languages are not spoken by 60%. So it's means majority are speaking other languages. We cannot tell that it is English. Okay. So if Hindi is included in the official purpose, then will be very difficult for the other languages. So they have decided to make Hindi as the national language as well as the official language and replace English. That means remove English for the purposes. There was large scale protests from the South Indians, especially from Tamil Nadu. If you take Tamil Nadu students are not learning Hindi at all. Nowadays, the KSC schools are not. Some schools are having this Hindi. So Tamil Nadu violent protest started. Okay, so the government decided to use Hindi as well as English for official purposes. So it was not completely by still we know that in many places English is used. Okay, so Hindi is not the national language, it is national official language. Okay, so that is the language policy. So 5 minutes, let's have a discussion. What should participate? Student had a very good student. It had a very good in my school. They got enjoyed. So if it depends upon your participation, how you like to participate. So you have to tell your opinion about taking or introducing Hindi as the official language. Or English should be continued, or what type of progress if it is not continued or not. Okay. You people, Lavandi and all also can participate. Okay. If you have any opinion. Armaya.
Yes, ma'am.
So they are calling you inside the class for the participation. It's debate. They want
Okay.
to present physically here. And okay, Avandi, you also participate in that. Your opinion you can present.
Okay.
So, what do you feel? From here we will start. What? Okay, start very fast. Huh? Or who will start? You start. Online. What is your attitude towards that Hindi making as the national language? Yeah. Hindi also you can. No. Almeida is getting
Yes,
ready.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you
Ma'am,
can
could you ma'am, repeat the question, ma'am?
say a voice was. The question is that in the earlier time, 1965, there was a kind of decision that to make the Hindi as the national official language.
Yes, yes.
So there was a protest from South India, and if you take the data, that is 60% is non-Hindi speakers and 40% are the Hindi speakers.
Hindi speakers.
So then, if we introduce Hindi as the official language, what type of problems will be there? Whether you support that decision or oppose that decision?
Ma'am, when we had our partition, we understand the statistics that 60% were not in the speaking community. But I think that a nation has to have a certain type of language for for the purpose of unity and for the purpose of community. Because if you have, see, a language can unite people as well as divide people. So I think if you have a common language, which can unite to different speaking communities or to different people from different parts of the country. So, it's good to have a national language. That is what I believe. And if you say about the statistics, these statistics could improve as well, right? Because now the statistics must have changed. It is not now, it not must not be 60% don't know Hindi. Now it must be 50% don't know Hindi or 30% don't know Hindi. So the statistics can improve. So I believe that we should have a national language as a unit,
Okay.
because
My question is that whether this language can be a spoken language, but the official purpose, the non-Hindi speakers, if they go for a government purpose, government work and all, so if they cannot communicate in Hindi, how can they get down their work?
ma'am, if they cannot communicate in Hindi, well, then we have the language as English, right? We do have the
That
language
is
as
not, the question was that they were trying to wind up English completely and introduce Hindi. So my question whether to wind up English completely or both the languages to be included.
Ma'am, English is a language. English is a global language. So if you have
Yes.
English as a
Yes.
official language, it is easy so that even people from different countries you can communicate with them, and they can read our official papers and stuff. So I think English should have the official language, but we should not. We should make sure that Hindi has its importance as well. Both sides of the coin we should understand.
Yes. So completely, their intention was to completely wind up English and introduce Hindi fully. So whether you support
No,
that,
I don't support that issue.
that is my question. Okay.
I don't.
Okay. Thank you. Avanti?
Ma'am, I also think that English should be the official language, but Hindi, I mean, a lot of people cannot speak it in the southern states, so they really shouldn't be forced to learn the language. And if they want to, then they can, but it shouldn't be forced upon them to learn that language as the
Ma'am,
official language of the country.
Ma'am, I have a contradict for a statement for that.
Yes.
Ma'am, you say that we are a country, right? We are a country together. Even South India is a country, like is a part of our country. So if we don't have a national language, then how can we communicate with each other? You are
I'm
saying
not
that it
saying
shouldn't be
I'm not saying
forced.
that we shouldn't have a
We should,
national language. I'm saying English
yeah.
should
So,
be the national language.
sir, English, ma'am, English is not.
Okay. Thank you. Very nice understanding. You did not get that. We must care of okay. Yes. Can you hear their opinions?
No, ma'am, Mike, you have to give it. Ma'am, could you do the TV like this a bit so I can see them?
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Ma'am, what if, in certain states, the people who can't speak Hindi, whether they should get selective language for communicating each other, communicate each other from another state to another. But where they government do, they don't have special languages. They only have it's like speaking these like that things. Southern states people can't say can't speak Hindi. Some of them can if they have learned. Then it's like right, you complained it in Hindi also. No problem. I got express understand. Okay, your opinion. We told half the part. You don't have to. You don't have any opinion. Okay, you. But there should be national language. Okay. So the centers of sugar and so that okay. It is more difficult than say, okay, you continue. If anything is there, over. Your opinion might be it should be because it is like a traditional language. But we are speaking and for the people from other countries, speak like us. So, हम दो क्या कर रहे हैं कम जल्दी करने के हम ये कर रहे हैं ना and then they should have a system like Hindi will be the national language, but besides English, will also will be spoken and Hindi should be like compulsory. More should be. Yes. Okay. For national language purpose, Hindi can be considered if we take that 60%, that 60% can be split up. It is split up in different languages. We have seen that 121 languages are there. Out of the 121, it is split up. So it doesn't mean that the 60% is the majority. It is split up into differently. So when we consider that the majority of the people are speaking Hindi and related languages. Okay. So for a national language, if we are speaking, it should be there. But we cannot ignore English as the language for official purpose. Every state is having their own mother tongue. You imagine you have to go to go for one birth in one of the offices of that Maharashtra state. Every procedure used to be there in Marathi. And you imagine you are not knowing Marathi. You haven't learned Marathi, then how can you do? How can you get action? The science that then it is possible to do. Then Marathi along with that, English also to be that. But the earlier decision was to complete remove that English from the official purposes. And one of you told that is oldest language and all that is you told Indian religions are the older religions, but you just think that that older religious scriptures are written in Sanskrit. So, okay, the Sanskrit is spoken by 0.1%. Is it the language, spoken language? Wait. Is it spoken by the common people? I mean, English is not spoken. But they can communicate. Any person from English and Sanskrit. We are thinking I don't know Sanskrit. Like in some states, some schools, with a very number of words. That's not, are you learning the whole Sanskrit words and that how it is to be taught? Schools don't teach that Farsi and all that French. Instead of that, it should learn Sanskrit. I'm not talking about the Sanskrit to be learned or not learned. My question is that English should be completely removed for the official purpose or not. After
It
your
should not.
studies, you it should not be there. Then
It
you
should
should
not.
See, according to the national policy, national education policy, which is slowly introducing in India, you are not becoming the part of that. So the future generation, that is those who are admitted last year and all, they are going to learn English in fifth standard only. So that will affect the in future, if they want to go to any other country, then basically the alphabets of their start, they will not be able to communicate. You have started your English in KG classes or before that itself. So better you can understand English. Now I have asked you to speak in Hindi. As you spoke you communicated with me in English only. So English should remain for official purpose and Hindi can be encouraged all over India as a national language. Those who are interested there. Hindi can also be a national language. Like it should be and Hindi should be encouraged, but English can also be spoken. English, we are not speaking very well, the classes we are speaking, but outside we are not speaking mainly English. For official purpose, when we are going to one office able to communicate in that language, or we are free to communicate in English. You are going. Imagine after completing your studies, you go abroad for higher studies. That time, can you use Hindi for your day-to-day matters? So, as he started with the first sentence, English is our language. It should be used. This is what the reason for the revolt in South India. Because South Indian language just had its origin from Dravidian language. They have no commonness with the other language.
Other than in a state, it's like they have their own language in the state, certain state. Then they but why don't you teach tell them to study this language?
Which language?
Like Tamil, that
They are having.
they are not telling you speak in other people.
See, every schools in states have their mother tongue as the first language. and second language English. Understood? Mother tongue is the first language. It is compulsory. Your board exam will tell you the first exam is your mother tongue. That language will be exam. Timetable when you are getting a long list of languages you can see. Understood? All those languages are imported in your CBSE curriculum.
Now then in India, there are various types of these figures paper. What if there in a certain state that various illegal speakers, like why wasn't it treated as something?
Every state you just go and see. Mother tongue is included as the
I'm telling that अगर स्कूल वाले के सी होता है ना तो मतलब उसमें अगर वो लोग हिंदी के अलग अलग टैक्स होते हैं ना बोलने के तो वो जो गाँव वाला हिंदी होता है गाँव में जो हिंदी बोलते हैं ना तो वो वाला हिंदी अगर हम कोई मतलब कोई स्टेट का हो तो वो पे नहीं डालते.
that is not having any script. That is spoken language. So it is not having the script.
But Hindi country language and recite because this can also be there in each and every state and Hindi can also be.
Practically, now it is adopted as the national official language. Hindi is adopted as the national official language. But the states are telling that it should not be forced upon us. It should not be forced upon us. How? Why? So you just think that you are having a mother tongue. Somebody trying to impose some other language upon you.
Someone wants to go
English is very easy, no? English is taught in every school. So English is easy, no? But
What about
see, I have
in India study, then what about that? And abroad student came to India for study, then what about
they are studying in Hindi.
Hindi can be first language, Hindi can be first language in each and every school in India. And the second language is English and the third language is.
See, now new education policy, first language to be the mother tongue of that state. So that is what you have to come out of that one. The new students are learning with the belief is that according to that new policy, the belief is that they can better understand in the mother tongue. Okay, of course, for hearing purpose they can understand. But are they able to write? You may be from the Karnataka, right? You are telling. Who is from Karnataka? You.
What about the
Do you know how to write it in that? No. You can speak. You can understand. First, first में कन्नड़ा में बोर्ड है. आपको रीड करने को नहीं पता है. So in that case, if it is written in English alongside, you can better understand.
And what about if you comes in India?
Huh? You may go to your native place at some point of time. So you have to read that board. So in that case, alongside, so in really mother tongue also should be on priority.
But the children now, like the small children, the parents also speak that in English. They never speak their mother tongue. Like from
I understand. So because there was a poet, that we used to write in 2 lines. Like the Kabir's Lohas Kabra explained that. He used to very small, like quietly, there is two lines. But this two line contains a very big meaning. What was that? See, the parent thought that on the itself the child should speak English. For that purpose, the work of the child, that means delivery itself was taken place in England. That is the attitude of the people. So how that person who is speaking from the childhood onward, and not knowing about the culture of that land, how do we love that?
What about the India, like during India for like around 2-3 months, and what about the
They are speaking in English, no? Majority are speaking, that is in our language.
but Hindi, my person, Hindi is national language and not
National official, that is official. Yeah.
Then we have to learn English. They are coming here, they are
They, if staying in India, learning one of the language.
But they still don't know how to speak. But now we don't know how to speak.
They are just to go to.
If they say something else, they will tell something else and they will pronounce something else. Yes, ma'am.
See, they are getting cheated by the vendor Indians. If are sold for that 80 rupees per case, from them 100 will be charged. And that's the charging like that. So I have observed that many taxis that they don't know no actual price. Ask, and they are also telling in English. They pay and go. They don't know how to bargain. So, but slowly they learn the language. You know that large number of
In the language they pronounce fast.
they are running in and they are speaking running in
Hindi.
those people, why they are not coming and staying in India. Okay? We are only that training our like to other country, brain drain. We are only doing. Some of them are not coming here to work. Are they coming here to work? They either come to learn some of the dance forms, music forms, or something. Or universities, they come to study Kannada, Dakshika, like that. Modern university. So Sanskrit learning, religious learning.
But what about people who live in here, they don't even.
See, before coming, they will learn. If you are going abroad, you are learning one of the language. Many are going to Germany, they learn German. They go to France, they learn French. They're going. So are you going?
Ma'am, but some people learn like basic things, right? But in India, some people came and abused them and they are like, okay, it's not
See, they cannot fight with they are not the citizens of this country. They cannot fight with the people, that is common people. So they are not fighting. If they go and complain also, the government will not take any action, the police will not take any action. They don't have any proof of that, what abuse.
But it happened in India.
Many places it is happening.
No, ma'am, police was like, Nepali came to India when in Himachal Pradesh. He went for delivery of like he came for job or delivery for something. But after that, person was saying like he was saying here, he was saying that come in order and eat because like they come eat and go. He ate, then he don't give you money. That Indian person, they will give you money. So then he was like, you want this food me to eat here and go. He was.
We don't know the truth.
But he was. That Indian person was beating him without any reason.
See, we are not knowing the truth behind. Yes.
When he had videos all those.
See, behind the curtains, so many things may be there.
For them, English should be an expected exceptional language.
See, I was English also should be kept as official language. There is no problem when we are thinking. We know that there is a saying that if you go to the moon also, you can find a WN saying there. Saying that is, people are going to any place and they have a living. They find their own living. They don't wait for there is an office job. Whatever they can, they are finding a job.
Ma'am, but
It's not wrong.
ma'am, as on Chandra in if they were they can't talking in English, whether they were not talking. Why is it?
That is why no majority of the people can use and need for official purpose. They are not only in India. That then are they able to speak? Our people are there in NASA, that is Williams, Sunita Williams and all. So all those people and recently another person is elected. So all these people can understand English. No? They should be for official purpose, or it should be added along with that Hindi. Hindi to be, let Hindi be there. I am not against Hindi. I can survive in Maharashtra or Mumbai just because of that knowledge of Hindi. I studied hardly 5 years, but I am living here for long time because I can understand. I even can understand Marathi. So, for surviving in this country, we should have a knowledge about that. But the whole process of country in Hindi. Because there are
First one that we want to have traditional language.
who is telling you to lose your traditional language?
English is their English is their official language. English will be our official language. Then
What I told her, Hindi is the your question paper when it comes, both Hindi and English the questions will be there. Every question paper, every subject, one Hindi, then English, translation of that. So why it is introduced like that, so people can understand? No. If CBSE exams are conducting international levels. So for them, if the Hindi paper is given, are they able to? So that is why let both the languages be there. We should not fight over that. Let other people also survive. Yes, of course, we should accommodate the people. The diversity is to be accommodated. Let's come back the next thing. You people also, yeah, Avanti and all.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's come back. Language policy is clear. Now the third is center-state relation. Central government, we know that there is a central government, and we know that there is the state government. The relations between the central government and the state government, how it is. If the central government is a dominating type, the state government cannot function properly. There was times in the period where The central government is dominated by a single party, and majority of the states were also having this party rule. So it was kind of dictatorial way. If any other party comes in power in the state, the central government used to oust them somehow. That was the condition. But in 1990s, it was a period of coalition governments. Have you heard about this word? Coalition government is for forming the government, two or more parties are joining. In this coalition government at the center, as well as in states, they need the support of these regional parties. So, ousting of a government is not easy, and it is not subordinated to the central government. Did you get it? आजकल सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के सबऑर्डिनेट नहीं है स्टेट गवर्नमेंट. State government is having autonomy. We have seen the features in that revenue is also there, power is also given to the state. So present today, state governments are not subordinate to the central government. But these are the three ways in which federation is practiced or federalism is practiced. Got it? Any doubt about conversation? Clear? Now let us move to the next part, decentralization. Have you heard about this word decentralization?
Yes, ma'am.
Centralization. Opposite of centralization. See, decentralization is that from the center, the power is distributed. In centralization, concentration of power. But decentralization, the power is divided, distributed. Do you know about the electricity production? Yes. What is the source of electricity? Tidal power, okay. Then tidal means water. Thermal power, then sunlight, solar power, tidal power, wind. So many sources are there. Okay. All these sources of power, when the power is produced, you told about the thermal power. So when thermal power is produced, it is coming to the main grid, and from the main grid it is distributed. Understood? So it cannot be stored. If it is stored, it is explored. That is the limit. So after the it is distributed to the different sources, different places. So this way, when the power is distributed, it is called decentralization. So power is given to the state, power is given to the local self-government. That is the decentralization. Okay. So center and below that the state, then local. Can you give some reasons? All of you have to tell one reason. I'll write over it. That is why there is a need to decentralize.
Only the central government they will not able to control such a big country and there is a time.
Okay. Large and diverse country.
But they would be able to control the population.
Control the population.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the meaning?
Just like they won't be able to see a their effects. The power is taken from central state give to people. They won't be able to control all the areas of the certain state and all the points.
Okay.
They cannot misuse of power and violating laws.
Okay, so you are telling that is to avoid misuse of power. Okay.
And violating laws.
Your point is somehow it is correct only, but you just come to that main point. Because here you are telling that if it is given to the local government, it is very difficult. No, that is not the correct way.
The people of the country, they have some problem. If there are different tires, they can go to the local this board. But if like if there is only central government, then they have to go to the high court, Supreme Court for each and every small court.
Oh, Supreme Court don't bring it over here, okay? Okay. Sorry. Any other point? Sure. No. You. Try. Yes.
You and then if there is like the power to give it to the local government, then the elections would be like well mannered.
You are just mixing up the point. Why do we need the local government? That's my question. So you are telling that if it is given, election cannot be properly managed. Okay. So we need the local government. Why? Okay. You people can tell any answer, any point.
No, ma'am. All points are
They
already.
can each and every part of the area and give more.
Yes, yes, I understood. I'm right. More. Yes, Avanti, any idea?
No, ma'am.
See, let us imagine if there is only one level of production, central government. Is it possible for the central government to know about what's happening in Kharghar? It's very difficult. Okay, center has given some power to the state. Is the state government able to know about what is the main problem? basically. So that is the thing. That is local people can better look about the problems faced by them. Ameya, who is the then?
No, ma'am. No.
And so you are disturbed today.
No, ma'am.
Attention. So they better know about the problems faced by them and how and where the money and the sources to be spent. How fast the decision can be. For example, your locality, water is not there. Will you go to the central government, that is, central government, usually state government, chief minister, Shinde, will you go and complain about that? You will go. I mean, is he approachable or not that time? Local government is there. That is, we are having a municipality or municipal corporation. So one of the corporator you will inform. These are the problem basically days we are not getting water. So this way, the local problems can be solved better by the local people. And how and where the money will be spent, which is the priority. All these things can be better sorted out if we are having a local government. One more point I am adding. It is the method of deepening of democracy. So that is what the center, state and local government, when it is coming, then only the deepening of democracy. Have you written this points? That's why you need decentralization. Next points. First one, large and diverse country. It's not possible to use the central government to control everything. That's true. So, as the country is large and diversities are more, it is required a local government which is having power. Second, avoid misuse of power. So if the power is concentrated in one hand, then there is all the possibility of misusing the power. Then local problems can be better solved by the local people. Already I have discussed, and this point also I have discussed. Then deepening of democracy means all the levels that a democratic attitude can be spread. We have studied in the power sharing research, production and moral research. And also it is coming deeply to reach in the lowest level so that everyone can be the part. What's going on? Have you completed? Have you completed it? No, that kind of classrooms is it possible in the school.
When they take
When they take for analytics, it's
all of the
completed by the
just once.
same. Earlier tax readers were demanding for administration. Means the lowest level should have more power. I have asked you one question. If there is a water problem, will you go directly state government? Not possible. I used to remember in earlier times that water pipelines were not made in this way. That is very big pipelines. Earlier, the older pipelines were that somehow getting connected to the drainage. So water, when it was coming, it was very bad water. Once I remember in our locality that media people came and connected that water and brought before that councillor. That councillor took up the matter to the standing committee of the municipal corporation, and within no time it was find out that this drainage pipe is connected to that or somehow. So you just imagine the color of water. If it is very dangerous, waterborne diseases can. So immediately they try to find out a solution for it. So this, if we have to sort out, in case this local self-government was absent, what would have been done? We have to drink that polluted or contaminated water, and many of the people who get waterborne diseases. Nobody could find out what is the reason for it. Many would be admitted in hospital and finally their life would happen. So this was possible just because of the existence of local self-government, powerful. So nationalist leaders and Mahatma Gandhi was in favor of giving more power to the local self-government. As for that, local self-government was created, but it was not functioning. Local government cannot misuse the power and tell you what it is. Say, it is divided into ward. Ward is a smaller unit. If any problem is there, there is one corporated in municipal corporation or municipality. But if it is in a village also, representative is there. So they will be very much alert about what is happening because it is a smaller unit. And people are more alert than that. They will tell that this representative is not bothering about our problems. The student, आजकल ना सब लोग educated हैं. So people are very alert. Misuse of power is not possible there. If one is not doing, we will go and complain to the other person. So, in order to avoid that person to get more seats, so that next time to get elected, this person would do. Of course, in the higher ups, there may be corruption, bribery, or all the things will be there. But for our day-to-day life, the system is for solving the problems of the locality, business, and need. Understood? So, before 1992, these local self-governments were there, but it was not having power, or the elections are also not held regularly. So it was not functional, we can say. So in 1992, there were so many amendments made, and accordingly, changes are introduced. Right?
Levels of intelligence. Levels of the खड़ा रहे एक आना So, लेवल सबके निकले कि जो यहाँ पे खड़ा रहेगा ठीक है yes ma'am yes sir
Yes, so I've seen them.
हमारे में भी पढ़ा
I have told you just before going for break about before 1992, even though this local self-government was there, it was not functioning properly. Elections were not held regularly, and another thing was that it was not a given proper fund from the state government. It was not having self-governing power. It was under state government. So three problems were there before 1990. So in 1992, the constitutional amendment was made. According to that amendment, 5 changes were taken. It is very important what are the 5 changes taken. Hello. What are the changes taken place through the constitutional amendment of 1992? Yes, you are just reading. Now, read until first point.
characteristics
No.
constitution amendment of 1992
Ah,
a major
slowly you read. I am writing. Ah,
a major step towards decentralization of state in 1992. The constitution was amended to make the third tier of democracy more powerful and effective.
next point.
it was made compulsory.
Sorry, next person.
Elections for government bodies.
Was made compulsory because 5 mark question used to come. Compulsory hold regular elections. Third, you.
States and served in the elected bodies and the elections. Scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and other backward class. At least 1/3 of all positions are reserved for women.
Okay. Now fourth point. Okay. No.
An independent institution on the state election commission are created each child election. The state
Great debate. You.
The state government are required to share some power and revenues with local government body. The nature of sharing varies from the state to state.
Okay, these are the 5 major steps taken by the Constitution Amendment of 1992. What was See, earlier, I have told you before 1992, this institution was there. But they were now, in order to make more effective and powerful, certain steps are taken. Compulsory elections to be held. Earlier, any person was chosen. So it was not a proper institution. You might have heard that village sarpanch only. Panchayat head sarpanch. The sarpanches were elected just like that. Those who are very strong or money person, rich person. So that such persons were elected from among the. So it's not the real panchayat. The people have to elect the representative and they have to. So that is why regular elections to local boards. Third one, seats were reserved for SC, OBC, and 1/3 of the seats for women. And we have the largest share of women representative in the local sector. 1/3, 33%. Women reserved. So you may think that why women should be represented in the local self-governing bodies. You know that women better know the problems. The other people, what type of problems they are facing, they can find a better solution to the problems. That is why women representation should be 1/3. In our parliament and the local and legislative assemblies, it is not there. That is why there will be problems. Okay, let's come back. 1/3 of the yes, you will ask me. Anybody? So 1/3 of the seats are reserved for women. SC, ST, and OBC also reservations are there. Independent state election commission must conduct elections. So each state is having elections separated or different dates. So they have to be conducted according to the time. The self-governing body is having a 5 years term. After completing that 5 years, they will conduct that election. It is not along with the national election or national election commission have taken decision, nothing like that. So, and state election commission. Next is that earlier the power was not given to local self by state government. It's made compulsory. Some power and revenue should be given to local self-governing institutions. Got it? Clear? Now let's see. What are the type of local self-governing institutions in local areas? That is, one is rural area and another urban. Rural area, it is called Panchayati Raj What is the name? Panchayati Raj is the name given to rural areas. It is a 3-tier system. 3 tiers. There are 3 levels. In the bottom, there is the village. Village is having the panchayat Samiti or Gram Sabha. Above the village, there is block level. It is having block Samiti. Now, above that, it is Zilla Parishad. Zilla Parishad is the district level. Okay. Now, when you see, for an example, central, state, and below state is district. Now, this 3-tier system, when it is going village, block, and Zilla Parishad, that is reaching the highest level is Zilla Parishad. That is district level. From top to bottom, when it is coming, district is the lowest unit. From bottom to top, when it is going, that is village to district. Got it? That is why I wrote like that. Here, village, block, and Zilla Parishad, and center, state, and district. Did you get it? The present day, the administrator of the village, we know that in some places it is still called as Sarpanch. Some places, this particular person is an elected person called the president. Panchayat president. Got it?
Because under the third tax,
Her 3-tier system of Panchayat Raj, not a federation.
this particular topic.
Federation we have studied. Doctors are called decentralization when we are studying. Rural area, there is a system called 3-tier Panchayati Raj system. Have you written? No. You have heard about the collector or not? District collector. The head of the district is collector. So when it is coming from the bottom to top, there comes the collector. So from top to bottom, district is the lowest unit and the head is. Now I am going to urban. Urban areas are divided into. You able to hear Maya?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they also no audible no?
Yes, ma'am.
See, there are towns and cities. What are the difference between towns and cities? City is a bigger unit. When we talk about a car, whereas cities rather than now in Mumbai. Okay, so many towns are coming under cities. So the administration also different. In towns, municipalities are there. And cities, municipal corporation. So don't misunderstand. That is, every town will have municipalities, and then above that municipal corporation. No, some towns, that is beyond that, it cannot develop. But our Navi Mumbai or like that, it is developing fast. So we need a separate administration. That is why we are having municipal corporation. There are some towns which are not growing yet. So they are having townships, and then they are that townships are having. Got the difference? Now, each units are divided into wards. Here in Panchayat also, we get wards. It's a unit for election purpose. The constitution, territorial unit. Okay. From wards, that is for municipalities, councillors are elected. Municipalities who are elected or councillors. Municipal corporation, the persons elected are the corporatives. What the difference? I'll just make other so that the learning increase. Now, both the places, the administrator and mayor. Okay. Mayor is elected from members. So councillors together elected mayor. Or corporators together elected mayor. Which party get a majority? That party is mayor is actually election will take place. State Election Commission is conducting election for minimums. Or here it is Panvel, municipal corporation. Okay, the election is conducted and the party which gets the majority, the members elect one leader. That person is called the mayor. And now what is that? The mayor post is also divided. 2.5 years it is for women, and then 2.5 years is for men. So both will get a chances. But the first 2.5 years, if it is given to a woman mayor, and the second 2.5 years, it will be for a man. So that is majority party is having the chance to. Now, the corporation is having a head, administrative head appointed by the government. That person is called municipal commissioner. This municipal commissioner will look after the administrative, judicial, all those matters. That person is considered as the very important person. Some places you might have heard about the police commission. We are having police commissioners. But the police commissioner is different from the municipal commissioner. But some areas, if there is no police commissionerate or police headquarters, the Municipal Commission Act, the judicial matters also, or that making law and order. Did you get the point? Huh? Okay. And here we know that the municipalities, that again the commission, some places it is the other places that district collector. Got it? Why this designation? Earlier, those head of the district used to collect the taxes. So collector named it. But nowadays it is not like that. The collector is not going and collecting because we are paying the taxes to the government. Only looking after whether it is done or not. Okay. So earlier times, other post was just meant for collecting the taxes. But now also that post is continuing in certain states. All the states that post of the collector is not there, or all the areas it is not there. For us, municipal commission is the parents. Got it? Now there are some drawbacks also. All the states are not having this system working properly, or meetings are not held regularly, or its work is also not taking place properly. Then there is the problem faced in many of the states. But some states it is working very effectively. Okay. Now let us see that the federalism that video sometime and afterwards. History, you did not bring history. Huh? Huh? Good enough. It's your community. No, now in the system. Avanti, are you able to see?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, we are not able to see any slide.
Oh, the screen, no, ma'am.
The screen now.
Now we can see.
Now you can see.
Animation.
Animation.
His fundamental power is divided between a central authority and its various constituent units. For example, Belgium has a federal form of government whereas countries like Sri Lanka and the UK have a unitary system of government. Under a unitary system, one level of government. There may be subunits like state governments, but they are under the absolute subordination of the central government. Under the federal system, there are two or more tiers or levels of government. The central government, the state government, and as an exception in India, a third tier or local self-government. However, in federalism, each tier has its own jurisdiction in specific matters of legislation, taxation, and administration. Jurisdiction is a legal and can be defined in terms of geographical area. Federalism provides
Let us learn the chapter. What is federalism? Federalism is a system in which the power is divided between the central authority and various constituent units of the country. Now, what do we mean by this? We understand that the power is divided between the central government and the state government or local governments. That is the various constituent units of the country. Both these levels of government enjoy their power independent of each other. Federalism basically has two systems, and one is the unitary system, and the second is the federal systems. In a unitary system, there is only one level of government. What do we understand by this? It means it has only central government, which is supreme. The central government may create active divisions, and such units exercise only the powers that the central government has chosen to delegate. Then on the other hand, we have federal system, where we have more than one level of government. As we have seen, it can be central government, it can be state government, it can be local government. Here, in the unitary system, the central government can order local governments. But on the other hand, the central government does not order the local governments. So what do we understand? The unitary system, there is no power to local governments. Local governments will just work that is delegated to central government. State government have their own power. In a unitary system, all the other local governments are answerable to central government. But here, the state government is not answerable to the central government. On the other hand, both are answerable. Both means here, as well as central, are answerable to the people of the country. So these are the differences between unitary system and federal system. Now, if you see the world map, you will come to know the countries that are following unitary system and the countries that are following the federal. Moving ahead, what are the key features of federalism? There are two or more levels of government. When I say levels of government, they are central, then there is state, and then there is local governments. And we shall learn about them in detail as we proceed in this chapter. Now, different government govern the same citizens, but each tier has its own jurisdiction. When I say jurisdiction, it refers to that area where they can exercise their power. Supposing I live in Mumbai. Okay, I am under the jurisdiction of, first of all, central government, because Mumbai is a part of India. Then it is state government, because Mumbai is a part of the state of Maharashtra. Now, the jurisdiction of the respective levels of government are specified in the constitution. When I say constitution, I am referring to the rule book of the country. Can we bring any changes in what is specified in the constitution? This, the fundamental provisions of the constitution can be unilaterally changed by one level of government. When I say unilaterally means one person or one group or country involved in a situation without the agreement of the others cannot change. On the other hand, we have the highest court, which acts as an umpire if there are disputes that arise between different levels of government. Say if there is a dispute between the state government and the central government, then the matter will go to the Supreme Court. If there is a dispute between Maharashtra and Karnataka, then again it will go to the Supreme Court. If there is a dispute between, say, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, again, it will go to the Supreme Court. So, any disputes between the states or states on one side and the central government on the other side, then the matter will go to the highest court, and that is the Supreme Court in India. Now, in this way, the Constitution ensures its financial autonomy to all levels of government. When I say financial autonomy, it is financial independence. And this is ensured in the Constitution, that is the rule book of the country. In a federal system, the good thing is it safeguards and promotes unity. And second one is it also accommodates regional diversity. Because when I say India, there is diversity in many ways, whether it is language, whether it is religion, whether it is customs and festivals. Your time starts now. Now there are two routes to form federalism. Okay, the first one is coming together. What do we mean by coming together? The states come together on their own to form a bigger unit, like it has happened in United States of America. Initially, it was 13 British colonies, but today, if you take, it is 50 big states, and these states have come together to form a big unit. Now, what is the benefit? They retain their identity and sovereignty. It means all the 50 states, they retain their identity as well as sovereignty. Sovereignty is the supreme authority. But if I take a country like India, which has 28 states, different states have different parts. The states do not have sovereignty, but the country has sovereignty. Means some other country cannot interfere in our political and internal matters. Then all the states in this type of federalism has equal powers. So one of the country is United States of America with 50 states. Then it is Switzerland with 26 states and Australia with 6. Then it is holding together. This is the second route to form federalism, in which India is also part. Now, in this system, a country divides its power between the constituent states and the national government. National government here means central government. The central government tends to be more powerful than the state government. Different constant units of the federation have unequal powers. Means different states here have unequal powers. That means, say, India. India is made up of states and union territories. Different states and different union territories have unequal powers. The countries which have this form of federalism is one, of course, India, Spain, Belgium. These are the classic examples of federalism formed by holding together. Now, what makes India a federal country? First of all, the Constitution declared India as a union of states. So that's the first thing. Next, Indian Union is based on the principle of federalism. Third, the Constitution provides for a three-tier system of government, which we have already learned, and that is union government, that is the central government, then it is the state governments and local governments. Now, the good thing about them is that they enjoy separate jurisdiction clearly provided in the Constitution. Now, the Constitution provides a threefold distribution of legislative powers. When I say legislative powers, that is power to make laws. Now, this distribution is between union and state governments. Now, how will they make laws? So that is defined in a list, and that is union list, state list, and concurrent list. What are these? Let us understand. If I take union list, it is a list that includes subjects of national importance, like one is defense of country, then it is foreign affairs, banking, communications, currencies. Now all this comes under union list. So related to these subjects, only the central government can legislate, that is make laws. Then it is the state list. Now this contains subjects of state and local importance like police. Then it is trade, commerce, agriculture, and even irrigation. Now there are many topics that are not covered in these two lists. They are seen in the concurrent list. So current list includes forest, which is of both national importance as well as state importance. Then it is trade unions. What are trade unions? Trade union is an association either of employees or employers or the independent workers. It is really permanent formation of workers, and it is not a temporary or casual combination of workers. Then marriage. Now subjects that do not fall in any of the three lists will come in the category of resident. This includes computer software, which exists when the Constitution of India was framed. So it is put in the category of residuary subject. Then it is terrorism, which did not exist before, just after India received independence. These are recently developed problems.
I want to make you ready for all possibilities, along with plant breathing, which has probiotics and DHA for brain development, whey protein muscles, and essential nutrients to support growth and immune system function. And now, get an activity book free with every pack of Nangro from Nestle.
With holding together. Now we have seen that a country divides its power between the constituent states and the national government. Different constituent units of federation have unequal powers, and all states in Indian Union do not have identical powers. Some units of Indian Union enjoy very little power, like the union territories. Union territories are powerful and effective. We understand decentralization. Decentralization is opposite of centralization. The earlier stage, power was centralized, so central government was more powerful. The second test for the Indian was the language policy. Our constitution did not give the status of language to any one language. Hindi, of course, was identified as the official language, not the national language. Hindi is the mother tongue of only 40% of the Indians. So, to safeguard and protect other languages, 21 other languages were recognized as scheduled languages by the Constitution. So, to safeguard and protect other languages, 21 other languages were recognized as scheduled languages by the Constitution. If I take a candidate in an examination conducted for the central government positions may opt to take the exam in any of these languages. States too have their own official languages. So now we understand decentralization in India. Decentralization is opposite of centralization. In the earlier stage, the power was centralized. So central government was more powerful than the state government. But now gradually the power was decentralized, distributed among the states and the local government. Now let us see how it was done. A major step towards this decentralization was taken in 1992. So now it became constitutionally mandatory to hold regular elections to local government bodies. Constitution was amended, means changed, was improved to make a third tier of democracy more powerful and effective. Reservations of seats for scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and other backward class. At least 1/3 of all positions are reserved for women. An independent institution called State Election Commission will conduct panchayat and municipal elections, that is local elections. Now, talking about the rural government. The rural local government is popularly known as Panchayati Raj. Each village or a group of villages in some states has a Gram Panchayat. This is a council consisting of several ward members, often called Panch, and a president or Sarpanch. So the Panch and the Sarpanch be elected by all the adult population living in that ward or village. Now let us understand the working of Panchayat. Well, you must understand that it is the decision-making body for the entire village. The panchayat works under the overall supervision of Gram Sabha, and all the voters in the village are its members. It has to meet at least twice or thrice in a year to approve the annual budget of the Gram Panchayat and to review the performance of the Gram Panchayat. Now, let us understand the structure of rural local government. Well, first of all, a few Gram Panchayats are grouped together to form what is usually called Panchayat Samiti. The members of this relating body, that is Panchayat Samiti, are elected by all the panchayat members in that area. All the Panchayat Samitis or Mandals in a district together constitute the Zilla Parishad. And Zilla Parishad chairperson is the political head of the Zilla Parishad. Now let us understand this the other way around. Now supposing I take one state, Maharashtra. It is made up of districts and each district is called as Zilla. So for each district, there will be a Zilla Parishad. Now supposing I take this area of Zilla Parishad, it is divided into blocks called development blocks or Panchayat Samitis. And these Panchayat Samiti are further divided times. So for Gram Panchayat, we have Panch and a Sarpanch. Then we have a Panchayat Samiti in which we will have a chairman. Then again we will have a Zilla Parishad, which will have a chairperson. Now, this was rural local government. Now let us understand urban local government. Now, similar local government bodies exist for urban area. Municipalities are set up in the towns. Municipal corporations are set up in the big cities. Both are controlled by elected bodies consisting of people's representative. So municipalities or municipal corporation, the members are elected by the people of that particular area. Then municipalities will have a chairperson as a head, and municipal corporation will have mayor as a head. Thank you.
All essential multivitamins in just one tasty cup. Wow, smooth. The smooth nahi.
Let us learn the chapter.
ये और शेयरिंग में
ये भी अच्छा है
ये एनिमेशन लगाना है
तो ये नीचे एनिमेशन
ये ये
चलिए यार
ये और शेयरिंग
पढ़ते हैं कि जो लोकल गवर्नमेंट होती है वो कितने टाइप की होती है। तो लोकल गवर्नमेंट दो टाइप की होती है। पहली रूरल लोकल गवर्नमेंट जो कि गाँव में होती है, जिसको पंचायती राज भी बोला जाता है। और दूसरी होती है अर्बन लोकल गवर्नमेंट जो कि शहरों में होती है, जिसे म्यूनिसिपैलिटीज बोला जाता है। तो सबसे पहले हम बात करते हैं रूरल लोकल गवर्नमेंट की, यानी कि पंचायती राज की। तो जो अलग अलग गांव होते हैं उनमें होती है, उसमें कई सारे वार्ड मेंबर्स को इलेक्ट किया जाता है और एक सरपंच को इलेक्ट किया जाता है। सरपंच जो होता है वो हेड होता है पूरी ग्राम पंचायत का, और उस ग्राम पंचायत में जितने भी गांव हैं, सरपंच उन सभी गांवों के लिए डिसीजन लेने की पावर रखता है। तो समझ में आया कि ग्राम पंचायत क्या होती है। तो ऐसे ही अलग अलग ग्राम पंचायत से मिलकर बनती है एक पंचायत समिति, जिसे ब्लॉक समिति और मंडल समिति भी बोला जाता है। और ऐसे ही अलग अलग पंचायत समिति से मिलकर बनता है एक जिला परिषद। जिला परिषद जो कि सबसे ऊपर होता है। तो अगर हम पंचायती राज का एक स्ट्रक्चर बनाए तो वो कुछ इस तरीके से दिखेगा। सबसे नीचे आती है ग्राम पंचायत जो कि विलेज लेवल पर होती है, जिसका हेड होता है सरपंच। उससे ऊपर आती है पंचायत समिति जो कि ब्लॉक लेवल पर होती है, और सबसे ऊपर आता है जिला परिषद, इसका हेड होता है जिला परिषद चेयरपर्सन। तो ये तो बात हुई रूरल एरिया की। अब हम बात करते हैं अर्बन एरिया की, यानी कि अर्बन लोकल गवर्नमेंट। तो जो बड़ी बड़ी सिटीज होती हैं उनमें होती है म्युनिसिपल कॉरपोरेशन, और जो टाउन होते हैं यानी कि जो कस्बे या छोटे छोटे शहर होते हैं उनमें होती है म्युनिसिपैलिटीज। म्युनिसिपल कॉरपोरेशन का जो पॉलिटिकल हेड होता है उसे हम कहते हैं मेयर, और म्युनिसिपैलिटीज का जो पॉलिटिकल हेड होता है उसे हम कहते हैं म्युनिसिपैलिटी चेयरपर्सन। तो यहाँ तक हमने लोकल गवर्नमेंट के स्ट्रक्चर के बारे में बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ा। तो यहाँ से हमें एक बात तो क्लियर हो गई कि जो ये डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन का स्टेप लिया गया वो एक बहुत बड़ा डिसीजन था और एक अच्छा डिसीजन था, क्योंकि डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन की मदद से आम लोगों की आवाज गवर्नमेंट तक ज्यादा बेहतर तरीके से पहुंच पाए। इसके अलावा महिलाओं को भी रिप्रेजेंटेशन मिला। इनफैक्ट टोटली अगर हम देखें, मतलब महिलाओं और पुरुष दोनों को मिलाकर, तो हमारी इंडिया में लगभग 36 लाख इलेक्टेड रिप्रेजेंटेटिव है लोकल लेवल पर। ये नंबर कई कंट्रीज की पॉपुलेशन से भी ज्यादा है। डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन की मदद से इंडियन डेमोक्रेसी और ज्यादा डीपन हो जाती है, यानी कि गहरी हो जाती है, या हम कह सकते हैं और ज्यादा मजबूत हो जाती है। तो लोकल गवर्नमेंट को बनाना एक बहुत बड़ा एक्सपेरिमेंट है डेमोक्रेसी का, जो कि एक सक्सेसफुल एक्सपेरिमेंट है। तो ये तो बात हुई डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन के मेरिट्स के बारे में, मतलब डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन की अच्छाइयों के बारे में। पर दोस्तों डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन में कुछ कमियां बाकी हैं, जैसे कि ग्राम सभा के इलेक्शन अभी भी रेगुलरली हेल्ड नहीं होते। कई सारी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने अभी भी उतनी पावर ट्रांसफर नहीं की है लोकल गवर्नमेंट को जितनी उसे जरूरत है। पर कोई बात नहीं, इन कमियों के बावजूद भी हमारी इंडिया का फेडरल सिस्टम कई सारी फेडरल कंट्री से बेहतर है। और हम भी यही आशा करते हैं कि समय के साथ साथ हमारी इंडिया का फेडरल सिस्टम भी और भी ज्यादा बेहतरीन होता जाए। आई होप आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आई होगी। अगर आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आई तो आप इस वीडियो को लाइक कर सकते
some other things. Local way. History we have to start. But before that, let us see, that is whatever things we have learned is this lesson. Which are things we have learned in this lesson? First, we have studied what is federalism. Then we have studied federal and unitary government. Then coming together federation and holding together federation. Then we have learned about the key features of that. That all things we have studied. Then how federalism is practiced. That is legislative way, the laws how are making. Then we have also learned about how it is implemented in India. Linguistic states, language policies, and state education. Then we have learned about the decentralization. What was the condition earlier? And 1992, this changes have been introduced. Accordingly, in the rural areas of governments and the urban areas. So, how it is functioning? It has some advantages and it has some disadvantages. All these things we are studying. Now, actually, we have to go to the nationalism. No, nationalism in India already started. How much is
Rowlatt Act नहीं वो खत्म हो गया national non-cooperation
okay.
Medicine.
So then we will take making of the global history. They mainly planning.
अरे थाना
Actually, not everybody is same. As you did not bring.
मैं आवाज आ रहा है क्या?
हाँ आवाज आ रहा है आवाज आ रहा है
हम देखो क्या बोल रहे हैं मैम मैं आपने बोला था ना उस दिन वो वर्ड नहीं बोलना है सीपी को बोला अभी ये बोला मैं
मैंने
मैम को बोला
जस्ट बोला कि देखो चाहिए क्या?
ओके चालू कर पहले स्टॉप कर पूरी स्टार्टिंग से
जैसे एप्पल जो कि यूएसए की कंपनी है पर उसका आईफोन पूरी दुनिया में यूज किए जा रहे हैं टी जो कि चाइना में इंट्रोड्यूस हुई थी पर आज उसे पूरी दुनिया पीती है इन शॉर्ट एक देश दूसरे देश से लिंक बनाता चला जा रहा है और इसी को हम ग्लोबलाइजेशन कहते हैं Hence, globalization is a process of interlinking of two or more countries with the help of trade, skills and technology. पर ये कोई नया फिनोमेना नहीं है पुराने समय में भी ग्लोबलाइजेशन हो रहा था और लोग जैसे ट्रैवलर्स ट्रेडर्स एक जगह से दूसरी जगह ट्रैवल कर रहे थे फॉर ट्रेड स्पिरिचुअल फुलफिलमेंट यानी कि आत्मा की शांति के लिए इन सर्च ऑफ वर्क अपॉर्चुनिटीज एंड नॉलेज और वो यात्रा करते समय अपने साथ स्किल्स आइडियाज फूड और यही नहीं जम्स एंड डिसीज भी ले जाते थे उन्हें किसी भी देश तक पहुंचने के लिए प्री डिसाइडेड पाथ से होकर जाना पड़ता था ऐसा ही एक पाथ था सिल्क रूट जो कि 15th सेंचुरी तक एग्जिस्ट करता था ये एशिया अफ्रीका और यूरोप को साथ में जोड़ता था इससे मेनली चाइना का सिल्क ट्रांसपोर्ट होता था दैट्स व्हाई इसका नाम सिल्क रूट पड़ गया इस सिल्क रूट से चाइनीज पॉटरी प्रीशियस मेटल फाइबर और फूड भी ट्रैवल होता था पर ये फूड कैसे ट्रैवल होता था तो पुराने समय में ट्रेडर्स और ट्रैवलर्स अपने साथ फूड भी ले जाते थे और इससे दूसरी जगह उस फूड के बारे में लोगों को पता चलता था ऐसा ही एक एग्जांपल है यूरोपियन पीसेंट्स का वह इतने गरीब थे कि उन्हें भरपेट खाना भी नहीं नसीब होता था लेकिन जब कुछ ट्रैवलर्स के माध्यम से यहाँ के लोगों को पोटैटो नाम की फसल के बारे में पता चला तो उन्होंने इसे उगाना शुरू कर दिया जिससे
You have to play this video or other.
which one
वह आलू के ऊपर हद से ज्यादा निर्भर होते हैं क्योंकि आलू जल्दी और ज्यादा मात्रा में पैदा हो जाता था पर 1840s में आलू की फसल खराब हो जाने के कारण लाखों लोग भूखमरी के कारण मारे गए लेकिन सिर्फ ग्लोबलाइजेशन अच्छे कामों के लिए यूज नहीं हो रहा कभी कभी एक देश दूसरे देश पर कब्जा करने के लिए भी इसका यूज करता था ऐसा ही एक किस्सा है अमेरिका का
नहीं मैं सब्सक्राइब नहीं कर रहा आवाज सुन रहा है
मैम वॉल्यूम है
We don't find the subscription.
हम नहीं कर सकते हम गेस्ट अकाउंट है ना गेस्ट अकाउंट से इसलिए साइन करना पड़ता है
को बहुत से देश कॉलोनी बनाना चाहते थे। ये बात है 16वीं सेंचुरी की, जब अमेरिका के बारे में पूरी दुनिया को पता चला। इससे पहले अमेरिका पूरी दुनिया से कट ऑफ था। पोर्टुगीज, स्पेनिश और यही नहीं, यूरोपियंस भी इसके लैंड, क्रॉप और मिनरल्स की तरफ आकर्षित हुए और इसे कोलोनाइज करने का प्लान बनाया। पर इसमें यूरोपियंस कोई सफलता नहीं पाई, क्योंकि उसने स्मॉल पॉक्स नाम की डिसीज को वेपन की तरह यूज किया। यूरोप में यह डिसीज पहले से था, जिसके कारण वहां रहने वाले लोगों में इसके खिलाफ इम्यूनिटी डेवलप हो गई थी। पर अमेरिका, जो कि पूरी दुनिया से कट ऑफ था, उसके लोगों में स्मॉल पॉक्स के खिलाफ लड़ने की क्षमता नहीं थी। दैट्स व्हाई यूरोपियंस ने स्मॉल पॉक्स को वेपन की तरह यूज किया और यहाँ पर हजारों लोगों को मारकर अमेरिका को कॉलोनाइज कर दिया। इसके बाद वह अमेरिका से प्रीशियस मेटल लूट कर उस पैसे एशिया के साथ ट्रेड में यूज करते थे। लेकिन जब 18वीं सेंचुरी में इंडिया को ब्रिटिशर्स ने कॉलोनी बना लिया और चाइना ने ओशियन ट्रेड को रजिस्टर करना शुरू कर दिया, तो वर्ल्ड ट्रेड का सेंटर यूरोप के साइड शिफ्ट होने लगा। 19वीं सेंचुरी में वर्ल्ड में ऐसे पॉलिटिकल और इकोनॉमिकल चेंजेस हुए, जिसने ग्लोबलाइजेशन की प्रक्रिया को और तेज कर दिया। इकोनॉमिस्ट ने ऐसे 3 सोच को देखा। जो इन तीनों चीजों को साबित करते हैं। तो चलिए अपनी सबसे पहली स्टोरी से शुरुआत करते हैं। यह बात है 18वीं सेंचुरी की, जब ब्रिटेन की पॉपुलेशन में बहुत ज्यादा इंक्रीज देखने को मिला और इसी समय ब्रिटेन में इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन भी हो रहा है, जिसके कारण फूड ग्रेन की डिमांड बढ़ गई। डिमांड को फुलफिल करने के लिए कॉर्न को दूसरे देश से इंपोर्ट किया जाता था, पर इससे ब्रिटेन के किसानों को बहुत ज्यादा लॉस हो रहा था, जिसके कारण फार्मर्स और बड़े जमींदारों ने गवर्नमेंट के ऊपर कॉर्न लॉ लगाने के लिए प्रेशर डाल दिया। कॉर्न लॉ यह एक ऐसा कानून था जिससे ब्रिटेन में कॉर्न के इंपोर्ट को कम करने के लिए बाहर से आए कॉर्न पर ज्यादा टैक्सेस लगाए जाते थे। इसके कारण ब्रिटेन में फूड प्राइसेस बढ़ गए, इंडस्ट्रीज के मालिकों को नुकसान होने लगा, शहरों में रहने वाले लोगों को बढ़ते दाम के कारण बहुत ज्यादा परेशानी हुई, जिसके कारण फिर लोगों ने गवर्नमेंट के ऊपर दबाव डाला और कॉर्न लॉ को अबॉलिश कर दिया गया। पर इसके कारण गांव में फिर से किसानों को नुकसान हुआ, लोगों ने खेती छोड़ दी और शहरों में आकर बसने लगे। लेकिन कॉर्न लॉ हटने के बाद फूड प्राइस कम हो गए, जिससे ब्रिटेन के लोग ज्यादा कंज्यूम करने लगे और उनके डिमांड को फुलफिल करने के लिए ब्रिटेन की कॉलोनी जैसे रसिया, अमेरिका, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, इन सारी जगहों पर कॉर्न को उगाया जाने लगा। पर ऐसा करने के लिए रेलवेज का निर्माण हो रहा था, नए बंदरगाह बन रहे थे और वहां काम करने के लिए लोग सेटल हो रहे थे। इन सारी चीजों के लिए पैसों की जरूरत थी, जो लंदन प्रोवाइड कर रहा था और लेबर यूरोप से अमेरिका माइग्रेट किए जा रहे थे। रोल ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी। 19वीं सेंचुरी में टेक्नोलॉजी ने ग्लोबलाइजेशन में एक बहुत बड़ा योगदान दिया। रेलवे, स्टीमशिप और टेलीग्राफ ने ग्लोबलाइजेशन की प्रक्रिया को और तेज कर दिया था। आप इसको मीट के एग्जांपल से समझ सकते हैं। 1870 तक मीट को अमेरिका से यूरोप ले जाने के लिए जिंदा शिपों में लाद दिया जाता था, जिसके कारण शिप में एनिमल्स ज्यादा जगह लेने लगे थे और वहां तक पहुंचते पहुंचते कुछ एनिमल्स मर भी जाते थे, जिसके कारण मीट वहां बहुत महंगा होता था। लेकिन जब रेफ्रिजरेटेड शिप का आविष्कार हुआ तो अमेरिका में ही मीट को काटकर रेफ्रिजरेटेड शिप में डालकर यूरोप में पहुंचा दिया जाता था, जिसमें मीट खराब नहीं होता था और इसी वजह से मीट सभी लोगों के लिए उपलब्ध हो गया। इन सारी चीजों को देखकर आपको लग रहा होगा कि ग्लोबलाइजेशन काफी अच्छी चीज है, लेकिन इसकी एक डार्क साइड भी थी। लेट 19th सेंचुरी कोलोनियलिज्म। 19वीं सेंचुरी में ज्यादा पावरफुल देश कम पावरफुल देशों को गुलाम बना लेते थे, जिससे वहां रहने वाले लोगों की फ्रीडम छीन जाती थी। ऐसा ही एक एग्जांपल है अफ्रीका का। यूरोपियंस अफ्रीका की जमीन और मिनरल्स की तरफ अट्रैक्ट हुए और वहां माइंस और प्लांटेशन सेटअप किए, पर वहां काम करने के लिए उनके पास कोई लेबर नहीं हुआ करता था। ऐसा इसलिए था क्योंकि वहां के लोग पशुपालन और खेती करके अपना गुजारा कर लेते थे, तो उन्हें पैसों के लिए कहीं और काम करने की जरूरत नहीं थी, जिसके कारण यूरोपियंस ने ऐसे बहुत से मेथड अपनाए ताकि अफ्रीकन उनकी माइंस में काम करने के लिए आ जाए। जैसे हैवी टैक्सेस को इम्पोज किया गया, इनहेरिटेंस लॉ को चेंज कर दिया गया और कहा गया कि किसी भी व्यक्ति के बच्चों में से सिर्फ एक को ही पूरी विरासत दी जाएगी और बाकी बचे हुए बच्चों को पैसे कमाने के लिए इनके प्लांटेशन या माइंस में काम करना पड़ेगा। और तब भी काम नहीं बना तो यूरोपियंस ने अफ्रीका में रेंडर पीस नाम की कैटल डिसीज को इंट्रोड्यूस कर दिया, जिसकी वजह से अफ्रीका की 90% कैटल मारी गई और अब अफ्रीकन लेबर मार्केट की ओर शिफ्ट होने लगे और फाइनली यूरोप ने अफ्रीका को कॉलोनाइज कर लिया। इंडेंचर्ड लेबर माइग्रेटेड फ्रॉम इंडिया। 19वीं सेंचुरी में इंडियन लेबर की हालत बहुत खराब थी। ब्रिटिशर्स प्लांटेशन और माइंस में काम करवाने के लिए इंडियन लेबर्स को कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के बेसिस पर एक निश्चित टाइम पीरियड के लिए बहुत दूर दूर तक ले जाया करते थे और ऐसे लेबर्स को इंडेंचर्ड लेबर कहा गया। ब्रिटिशर्स एजेंट्स को स्मॉल कमीशन देकर लेबर को हायर करवाते थे और एजेंट गलत जानकारी देकर लोगों को कैरेबियन आइलैंड और असम के प्लांटेशन में भेज दिया करते थे, पर वहां की वर्किंग कंडीशन बहुत खराब हुआ करती थी और लेबर को टाइम पीरियड खत्म होने के बाद भी वहां काम करना पड़ता था, जिसकी वजह से इस नए सिस्टम को न्यू सिस्टम ऑफ स्लेवरी कहा गया। पर जब 1900 में इंडियन नेशनलिस्ट ने इसके खिलाफ प्रोटेस्ट किया तो 1921 में इसे अबॉलिश कर दिया गया। इंडियन ट्रेड, कोलोनियलिज्म एंड द ग्लोबल सिस्टम। पहले इंडिया के फाइन कॉटन के कपड़े यूरोप में इंपोर्ट किए जाते थे, लेकिन जब यूरोप में इंडस्ट्रीज आई तो यूरोप खुद कॉटन क्लॉथ मैन्युफैक्चर करने लगा, जिससे इंडियन क्लॉथ का एक्सपोर्ट कम हो गया। लेकिन कपड़े बनाने के लिए जो कॉटन की जरूरत होती थी यूरोप उसको इंडिया से ही इंपोर्ट करता था। लेकिन ब्रिटिश इंपोर्ट की वैल्यू
Once everything's perfectly organized, I'll start working on my thesis.
Learning English, you feel confident nailing your final thesis.
ब्रिटिश एक्सपोर्ट की वैल्यू से कम होती थी, जिस वजह से ब्रिटिशर्स को फायदा होता था और इसी फायदे को ट्रेड सरप्लस कहा गया। ब्रिटिशर्स इस ट्रेड सरप्लस से अपने ट्रेड डिफिसिट यानी कि नुकसान को मैनेज करते हैं और इस पूरी मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम को मल्टीलैटरल सेटलमेंट सिस्टम कहा गया। इंटर वॉर इकोनॉमी, फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर जो कि मेनली दो पावर्स के बीच लड़ा गया था, एलाइज पावर और सेंट्रल पावर। एलाइज पावर में ब्रिटेन, फ्रांस, रशिया और यूएसए जैसे देश शामिल थे और सेंट्रल पावर में जर्मनी, ऑस्ट्रोनियन एम्पायर और ओटोमन टर्की जैसे देश आते थे। आप इसमें देख सकते हैं कि वर्ल्ड वॉर मेनली यूरोप में इंडस्ट्रियलाइज्ड कंट्री के बीच लड़ा गया था, पर इसका असर पूरे वर्ल्ड में देखने को मिला। इस वॉर में मशीन गन, टैंक्स, एयरक्राफ्ट और केमिकल वेपन्स का बड़े पैमाने पर इस्तेमाल किया गया था, जिस कारण 9 मिलियन से ज्यादा लोग मारे गए और 20 मिलियन से ज्यादा लोग इंजर्ड हुए। इस वजह से इस वॉर को फर्स्ट मॉडर्न इंडस्ट्रियल वॉर कहा गया। पोस्ट वॉर रिकवरी, ब्रिटेन की हालत वर्ल्ड वॉर फर्स्ट के कारण बहुत ज्यादा खराब हो गई। ब्रिटेन जो वर्ल्ड वॉर फर्स्ट से पहले लोन देने वाला देश था, वर्ल्ड वॉर फर्स्ट के बाद यूएसए से लोन लेने के कारण कर्ज में डूब गया। जब ब्रिटिश वर्ल्ड वॉर फर्स्ट में बिजी था तब इंडिया और जापान में इंडस्ट्रीज ग्रो होने लगी, जिसकी वजह से ब्रिटेन इंडियन मार्केट में पुरानी वाली जगह नहीं बना पाया। वर्ल्ड वॉर फर्स्ट के कारण डिमांड, प्रोडक्शन और एम्प्लॉयमेंट बहुत तेजी से बढ़ा, पर इसके बाद इन सारी चीजों में बहुत ज्यादा डिक्लाइन देखने को मिला। राइज ऑफ मास प्रोडक्शन एंड कंजप्शन, 1920s में यूएस की इकोनॉमी में काफी सुधार देखने को मिला बिकॉज ऑफ मास प्रोडक्शन। इस कॉन्सेप्ट को हेनरी फोर्ड ने दिया, जिसमें सभी वर्कर्स एक लाइन में खड़े होकर एक ही टास्क को बार बार परफॉर्म करते थे, जिसकी वजह से कोई भी चीज जल्दी और ज्यादा मात्रा में प्रोड्यूस हो जाती थी। इसी मॉडल को यूज करके हेनरी फोर्ड ने दुनिया की सबसे पहली मास प्रोडक्शन वाली कार टी मॉडल फोर्ड निकाली। फोर्ड कंपनी का तरीका 1920 में यूरोप ने भी कॉपी कर लिया, जिसकी वजह से मास प्रोडक्शन इंक्रीज हुआ, कार की प्राइस कम हो गई, वर्कर्स की सैलरी ज्यादा हो गई, वर्कर्स अपनी जरूरत के सामान खरीद पा रहे थे, जिसकी वजह से वर्कर्स ने लोन लेकर अपने हाउस को बिल्ड कराना शुरू कर दिया, जिस कारण एम्प्लॉयमेंट भी इंक्रीज हो गया। इनकी वजह से 1923 में यूएस दुनिया का सबसे ज्यादा लोन देने वाला देश बन गया। अभी तक तो सभी चीजें सही चल रही थी, लेकिन 1929 में स्थितियां बहुत खराब हो गई बिकॉज ऑफ द ग्रेट डिप्रेशन। द ग्रेट डिप्रेशन 1929 से मिड 1930s तक रहा, जिससे प्रोडक्शन, एम्प्लॉयमेंट, इनकम और ट्रेड इन सब में बहुत ज्यादा डिक्लाइन देखने को मिला। पर ऐसा क्यों हुआ? दरअसल इसके दो कारण थे। पहला, एग्रीकल्चर प्रोडक्शन। वर्ल्ड वॉर फर्स्ट में ब्रिटेन जैसे देश वॉर में बिजी थे, जिसके कारण दूसरे देश में प्रोडक्शन होने लगा, और जब वॉर खत्म हुई तो ब्रिटेन में ग्रेन का प्रोडक्शन फिर से होने लगा, जिस वजह से ग्रेन का ओवर प्रोडक्शन हो गया और ओवर प्रोडक्शन के कारण ग्रेन की प्राइसेस गिर गई। दूसरा कारण था, यूएस ने लोन देने से मना कर दिया। 1920s के मिड में यूएस दूसरे देश को लोन देता था, लेकिन उसको लगा कि उसके पैसे डूब जाएंगे, जिस कारण उन्होंने लोन देने से इनकार कर दिया, जिससे दूसरे देश जो यूएस के लोन पर निर्भर थे उनको बहुत ज्यादा समस्या आई। इम्पैक्ट ऑन वर्ल्ड, यूरोप में बहुत से बैंक बंद हो गए, लैटिन अमेरिका और बहुत सी जगहों पर एग्रीकल्चर की प्राइस गिर गई। यूएस ने अपनी इकोनॉमी सुधारने के लिए इंपोर्ट के टैक्स को डबल कर दिया, जिसके कारण ट्रेड में बहुत बुरा इम्पैक्ट पड़ा। इम्पैक्ट ऑन यूएस, यूएस में बैंक ने लोन देने से इनकार कर दिया और दिए हुए लोन को वापस लेने लगे, जिससे किसान फसल नहीं बेच पा रहे थे, हाउस होल्ड बर्बाद हो गए, बिजनेस कोलैप्स कर गए, लोगों ने लोन चुकाने के लिए अपनी कार्स, अपने घर बेचने शुरू कर दिए, लेकिन फिर भी यूएस के बैंक लोन को वापस नहीं ले पाए, जिसकी वजह से यूएस बैंकिंग सिस्टम कोलैप्स कर गया। इंडिया एंड द ग्रेट डिप्रेशन। इंडिया एग्रीकल्चर गुड्स का एक्सपोर्टर और मैन्युफैक्चर गुड्स का इंपोर्टर था, लेकिन ग्रेट डिप्रेशन के कारण ट्रेड आधी हो गई, जिसके कारण व्हीट के प्राइस इंडिया में 50% तक गिर गए। इसको आप जूट प्रोड्यूसर की एग्जांपल से समझ सकते हैं। इंडियन फार्मर जूट को प्रोड्यूस करके गनी बैग्स में स्टोर करते थे और फिर इन गनी बैग्स को दूसरे देशों में एक्सपोर्ट करते थे, पर ग्रेट डिप्रेशन के कारण गनी बैग्स के प्राइस 60% तक गिर गए। इससे किसान कर्ज में डूब गए। कर्ज चुकाने के लिए वह अपनी ज्वेलरी, प्रीशियस मेटल बेचने लगे, जिस कारण इंडिया गोल्ड का बहुत बड़ा एक्सपोर्टर बन गया और इस गोल्ड की मदद से ब्रिटिशर्स अपनी इकोनॉमी सुधारने लगे, पर इससे इंडियंस को कोई भी फायदा नहीं हुआ। Rebuilding a world economy, the post-war era. ये बात वर्ल्ड वॉर सेकेंड की है। वह समय था एक्सेस पावर और रिलायंस वॉर के बीच 1939 से लेकर 1945 तक एक लंबा साल चल रहा। एक्सेस पावर जिसमें जर्मनी, जापान, इटली जैसे देश आते थे, वही एलाइज का होता था, स्पेन, फ्रांस, सोवियत यूनियन और यहाँ तक कि यूएसए जैसा देश भी आता था। वर्ल्ड वॉर सेकंड के कारण 60 मिलियन से ज्यादा लोग मारे गए और दुनिया के लगभग 3% पॉपुलेशन खत्म हो गई। पोस्ट वॉर सेटलमेंट एंड द ब्रिटन वुड्स इंस्टीट्यूशन। वर्ल्ड वॉर सेकंड के बाद इकोनॉमिक्स और पॉलिटिशियंस ने इससे दो रिलेशनशिप है। पहला, अगर किसी चीज का मास प्रोडक्शन हो रहा है उसका मास कंजप्शन मिलना जरूरी है और मास कंजप्शन करने के लिए एम्प्लॉयमेंट स्टेबल होनी चाहिए और अगर आपकी एम्प्लॉयमेंट स्टेबल करनी है तो सरकार को उसमें इंटरफेयर होना जरूरी है। दूसरा लेसन उन्होंने यह सीखा कि फ्लो ऑफ ट्रेड, फ्लो ऑफ गुड और फ्लो ऑफ कैपिटल, इन सारी चीजों पर गवर्नमेंट का कंट्रोल होना चाहिए ताकि एक देश दूसरे देश से लिंक बनाया जाए। इन सारी चीजों को अचीव करने के लिए जुलाई 1944 में सारे इंडस्ट्रियल नेशन ने ब्रिटन वुड्स में इकट्ठा होकर एक कॉन्फ्रेंस की। इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में यूनाइटेड नेशन मॉनेटरी फंड के ऊपर सारे देश एग्री हो गए। इसका मतलब सिर्फ इतना सा है कि अगर किसी देश को पैसे की जरूरत है तो वह इस फंड से पैसे को निकाल सकता है और इसके लिए उन्होंने दो काम किए। पहला, इन्होंने इंटरनेशनल मॉनेटरी फंड यानी कि आईएमएफ स्टैब्लिश किया और दूसरा उन्होंने इंटरनेशनल बैंक ऑफ रिकंस्ट्रक्शन एंड डेवलपमेंट यानी कि वर्ल्ड बैंक सेटअप किया। फिर उन्होंने 1947 में अपना काम करना शुरू कर दिया। वह किसी भी देश की करेंसी को किसी दूसरे देश की करेंसी में एट अ फिक्स रेट चेंज कर देता था। इन सारी चीजों की मदद से जापान और इंडस्ट्रियल नेशन में ऐसी ग्रोथ हुई कि किसी में छुट्टी न होगी। डिकॉलोनाइजेशन एंड द इंडिपेंडेंस। वर्ल्ड वॉर सेकंड के बाद एशिया और अफ्रीका के नेशन इंडिपेंडेंट होने लगे और इससे वहां की पॉवर्टी बढ़ गई और वहां के रिसोर्स में कमी आ गई। और मेन बात यह थी कि इनको आईएमएफ भी सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहा था क्योंकि ये लोग इंडस्ट्रियल नेशन नहीं थे। इस समय उनको सपोर्ट चाहिए था और उनको ऐसी एजेंसीज गाइड कर रही थी जो उन्हीं कॉलोनियल पावर के अंडर में थी जिन्होंने इन कंट्रीज को कॉलोनाइज किया था, जिसके कारण वही कंट्री बहुत ज्यादा फायदा उठाती थी, जिसके कारण कॉलोनियल पावर अभी भी उन डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज को एक्सप्लॉइट कर रही थी। इन सारी चीजों को देखते हुए डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज ने ग्रुप ऑफ 77 का गठन किया और उन्होंने न्यू इंटरनेशनल इकोनॉमिक ऑर्डर यानी कि एनआईईओ की मांग की, जिसमें इन सारी बातों का उल्लेख किया। नंबर 1, उनके सिवाय उनकी नेचुरल रिसोर्स को कोई दूसरा एक्सप्लॉइट नहीं करेगा। नंबर 2, उनको और ज्यादा डेवलपिंग गाइडेंस मिलेगी। नंबर 3, उनके रॉ मटेरियल की दूसरी जगह फेयर प्राइस मिलेगी और डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज में सामान बेचने के लिए अच्छी व्यवस्था होगी। इन द ब्रिटन वुड्स एंड द बिगिनिंग ऑफ ग्लोबलाइजेशन। 1960 में यूएस ट्रेड को कम करने लगा, जिसके कारण यूएस की फाइनेंशियल कंडीशन खराब होने लगी, जिससे यूएस डॉलर अब वर्ल्ड की प्रिंसिपल करेंसी नहीं रही। और क्योंकि जो आईएमएफ था वह फिक्स रेट में किसी भी देश की करेंसी को चेंज करता था, इस कारण वह भी कोलैप्स कर गया और एक नया सिस्टम उभर के आया जिसमें फ्लोटिंग एक्सचेंज रेट की बात कही गई थी। यानी कि कोई देश जितना डेवलप होता जाएगा उसकी करेंसी की वैल्यू भी उतनी ज्यादा होती जाएगी। लेकिन अब ब्रिटेन जैसे देशों में हालत बहुत ज्यादा खराब हो गई क्योंकि जो एमएनसीज थी उनको अपने फायदे के लिए एशिया बहुत अच्छी जगह लग रही थी, जिसके कारण एमएनसीज चाइना, ब्राजील और इंडिया जैसी कंट्रीज में जाकर अपनी फैक्ट्री सेटअप करने लगी, जिससे वहां की इकोनॉमी सुधरी। और इसी के साथ आपका चैप्टर कंप्लीट होता है। अगर आपकी वीडियो अच्छी लगी हो तो इस वीडियो को लाइक और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब जरूर कर दें। अगली वीडियो किस टॉपिक में चाहिए कमेंट में जरूर बताना।
Okay. Here, this case studies are there that you have to read and you should understand what to read. Okay. Now, homework I am giving afterwards.
Yes.
Yes. But yes. Then political science is also completed. Now that lessons, questions, homework I am giving. Let us go to your place and mark that what all things homework is done. Page number 43. 80, 19, 21. And 21. That I gave you that day, no? Homework. Now next, 24. Not writing. Next day, that is tomorrow, First, before that itself, I will make you to stand outside and come out. Then 26. 26.
Page number 26.
Page 44, question number 26. Okay. Now, next 28. That day itself, I have 1 week back. I have given. That is the whole day you are sitting. Up to what time? 2:15 will be class. Then
One eight question, one more two question.
oh,
Yes, ma'am.
anyhow, one more question. 22. Okay. Clear? See, the homework, if you are writing, one time learning is getting out. You don't think that your homework is something to write, copy down. By writing, you are able to learn one time. So, please do the work. Happily, we are going to discuss something about what we have heard. That lesson appears to be a very big lesson. It's a very big lesson, but you have to study very less parts, 1 point with the key. So that is only going to come in board exam. Understood? So within that 15 minutes also the lesson can be completed, but none of you are having textbook. That is why textbook or volume also. So that is why I am not having that. You are having, no? So take the textbook. I will tell you people how much is it. Volume. Textbook. If it is right, then no matter what textbook. Actually, that the textbook page is volume page is 79, 80, and 81 up to half course. Biological warfare, that much only in the board exam. First part is not coming in the board exam, but I did not delete all those questions because in case one fine morning board people thought that okay, that was the way. The deletion is not done, but the what sentence is added up to this is board exam. Okay. So very less only you have to study, but it is coming in the book. Now listen, the lesson's name is Making of the Global World. Making of the global world. What is the meaning of this? Can anyone tell? What is global world? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
What is global? The whole earth.
Global world means the whole world, the whole community, the whole all countries together.
Okay. Middle one. It's not coming. Okay, yeah, for you, it is the whole world living. Okay, now. Then what for nowadays? Global world.
It's trade between different continents and migration of people from one country to another, one continent to another.
Yes. Okay. Now you
Connection of two
okay. Yes. Same thing. You did say development and dependency. You nothing you explain countries. Okay, connected with each other. Okay, let's see this. Now, if you are going to an electronic showroom, you will get the things which are manufactured in any part of the world. Only you have to choose. Correct? For example, mobiles. Which brand you want, you can get it in your local market. But few years back, the situation was not like that. If you want to get the things, you have to go to that bank and pay it. So, the world as a whole is made into a global market. That is, local market is now converted into a global market. Anything and everything. We are not feeling that we are living in that confined area. In the field of transport and communication also this development is there. You sit at home and talk to the people, relatives living in another part. Talking only, then you are this thing, messaging, all this way, you are feeling that they are very close to you. Next thing, sitting at home and ordering the food, food is reaching to you. But a few years back, the condition was not like that. If your parents have gone out and you are feeling hungry, immediately order from the Zomato or whatever is there, and then the food is reaching to you. Earlier it was not like that. You have to learn either to prepare Maggi or something, and then satisfy you. What you are preparing? Nothing. So you have to learn something to satisfy your hunger. The condition changed. Earlier, for going to native places, if you want to book the ticket, 3 months back you have to go and stay there and make the line. And without sleep, you have to wait till the window open. Then also you will not get the ticket. But now, sitting at home and checking that whether the tickets are available, when the ticket is available, which train the ticket is available, everything you can do sitting from home. This type of conditions which make the world connected together is known as globalization. In economics, that you have to study globalization. But here we are not learning that much deep into. We are going to learn about what was the condition earlier, or this was a new development or not. How was it in the earlier times and what changes have taken place? So we have seen this is not a new phenomenon. Both the, but in a different. Say, now you are sitting at home and doing the things, that is you are getting the food. Ready-made food at home. Earlier, if some guests come to your home, all of a sudden, your mom will think that what to do, that is searching and thinking that what can be done fast. Then also 2-3 items have to be prepared. And then she has to serve. Now, what she will think, she will talk to them. By the time she ordered that what kind of matter or like that, and not talking, that it does still think that why she is talking. And all of a sudden, this food, all the things will come to your home and get served, and by the time the guest also can be treated properly. Otherwise, if you imagine that person have to go in the kitchen, toilet, that all time, not having time to talk. So this globalization have helped a lot in connecting the people as well as that getting the things at our doorstep. In the field of communication, in the field of transport, in the whole sense. One example. Earlier, one of the one of the television sets, which was very much known and demanding, was Sony. Have you heard about the Sony? So it is German made. If we want a Sony set, either those people who are working abroad will bring it. On the way, that is in the airport, they have to pay import duty. The person will get that television at a lower price. First in Germany, they get it at a lower price. But when it reaches to that airport, the person has to pay import duty. Then somehow brought to home. Now, after bringing home, earlier times there was the old antenna attached to the house. And see, so old antenna. So how much high it can be, then only it can get or capture. Then the people of the locality used to gather on Saturdays and Sundays when movies are telecasted by the national channel. So people used to gather in their house to sit because in that locality 1 or 2 persons may have. It will be like a movie hall, and lot of people there. So this was the condition. Now in our mobile also we can do everything. So this is one of the advantage of globalization. It has disadvantages also. And what can be the disadvantage? Okay. Then lot of health problems. So many problems because this mobile is with you. Which instead of using for good purpose, you are using it for bad purpose. Many things are there. And the most important use in the present day is for taking photos. Earlier, Yashika or Purnika or like that, Japanese cameras were available. Now, no need of camera. You will purchase a good mobile having camera quality. So this is what the disadvantage. The advantage are also there. Tomorrow you bring history. We will complete that one and afterwards we'll see what the page. Start order is complete.